Well, Brett, I guess first thing, just playing Washington State, and obviously, your family has a history with Washington State. What's it like to be able to play against them?
Yeah, it feels a little bit weird right now, growing up watching the Cougs. My uncle went there, my mom went there. So, it's definitely a different feeling, playing the team I grew up watching. But, I think when we get out there on Saturday, it's just going to be another opponent. So I'm not really going to be thinking about that.
And I think they offered you out of high school, is that right?
Yeah, they were my first offer, actually.
And so, growing up around it, they're your first offer, that you ended up here. What was it about Boise State that has made it more, made you want to go there as opposed to the school you grew up watching?
Yeah, I think it was just a better fit for me. I loved the town, loved the coaching staff. The winning tradition here obviously was a big factor in that too. And I think, I wanted to learn a different offense. I played in the air raid in high school, and I think I just wanted, something different. So, I think, coming down here was the best situation for me, and, obviously still has been the best situation for me.
We had your uncle on our radio show, and he said he's going to be rooting for the Cougs on Saturday. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't blame him. He's, a Cougar alum, and, he diehard Coug fan, so, that's tough to, go against that. But he'll be rooting for me as well. He wants the Cougs to win, but he'll be rooting for me.
What was, when you would grow up going to games and stuff like that? What are some of your memories of that?
Probably the best game I ever went to was the 2013 or 2014 Apple Cup, the overtime victory when, the Cougs didn't have a very good season, but, ended up winning in overtime, I think it was, against Keith Price and Washington. And, that was a good game. But, I've obviously always grown up watching the Cougs, and like I said, it's a different feeling, playing them.
So was it them and Boise State? Were they kind of the two that it came down to? Or?
Yeah, I would say them, Boise State, and Washington were probably the last three I was looking at.
We talk about your relationship with your uncle. Obviously since you've now moved into a starting role here, how much have you talked with him about that and kind of handling that sort of stuff?
Yeah, he's been huge with me. Just how to handle yourself on the field as well as off the field, and obviously it's good having a guy that's been through it all. Been through the college ranks, been through the pro ranks. Knows the ins and outs of everything that there is to, being a quarterback at this level, and he's been. Definitely a great influence on me.
Going to the school like Boise State, does it also give you your opportunity to kind of emerge from that shadow and kind of be your own guy? Even rewatching the broadcast the other day, I don't know how many times they said, "There's Mark Rypien's nephew."
Yeah, I think it definitely helped me kind of climb out of his shadow into Kellen Moore's shadow. No, I'm just kidding. but no, it was. Definitely, I think a little bit. There would have been a lot more comparisons if I would have gone to Washington State with my uncle and that type
Which shadow's bigger?
It's a good question. I don't really know, to be honest. Because if I would have gone to Washington State, it probably would have been the same type of media stuff and that type of thing. So.
How much, when you look back, I guess, at this last game, obviously the offense seemed like it was clicking pretty well. Certainly you guys always want to work on something. What maybe can you guys do better this next week?
Well, obviously winning the game, first of all, is, big for us. And, going back and watching the film, there's always stuff that we could do better. And I think there was definitely some good learning moments in that game. Me fumbling, on that rollout was, I can't really do that. That could come back and bite us, in a closer game. And fumbling before that was actually a fumble before the 1 yard line. So definitely some good learning things on that film, and some stuff, that we got to continue to work on, if we want to, have a good chance of winning the Mountain West and, having a great season this year.
Talk about protecting the blue, and you guys are on a 2-game losing streak now at home. How big is that to try to put an end to that streak?
Yeah, we definitely know that we're on a 2-game losing streak at the blue, and that hits deep, especially around here, and we want to end that.
Was that a big deal this summer? Is that something you guys have been talking about?
Yeah, protecting the blue, that's always been a big thing here, and that's something that we want to get back to doing.
Do you feel the tradition when you play on the blue, and is there a responsibility to play on the blue and defend it?
Definitely, yeah. You feel the energy out there, and knowing the history with how much success we've had on that field over the past 10 years. It's you feel it, and you want to keep that going.
What did you first see on the schedule when you were getting recruited, or when did you first see you were going to be playing against Washington State?
I don't necessarily remember when I first saw it, but I've had it marked on my calendar for a while. So,
When you see them play the way they did the other day and lose, do you expect probably a fired up group to come out here on Saturday?
yeah, we're going to get everybody's best shot, and that's what we're going to expect from Washington State. Eastern Washington's a very good football team. They got a lot of weapons, some guys that definitely could be playing in the Pac-12. Their quarterback played tremendous, watching that film, and we're definitely going to get a good battle from Washington State, and we're looking forward to it.
I know you said you obviously know the town, know the team pretty well, but I mean, how familiar are you with the program, and do you know a lot of guys on the team? You clearly have a connection with the coaching staff up there too.
Yeah, I know a few guys on the team just from visits and stuff like that, but I obviously kind of feel connected to the program. Like I said, growing up and watching it and being around it. Parents went there. Well, my mom did, and my Uncle Mark did. So there's definitely a connection there.
Do you feel like Spokane will be conflicted?
I think the people close to me will want Boise State to win, but Coug fans up in Spokane are Coug fans. They're gonna want Washington State to get a win.
How much more does this game here for your home opener mean to you to play Washington State? Like, does this give you a little bragging rights if you guys walk away with a victory and talk some smack to your uncle a little bit?
I don't think that. No, not really a whole lot. Definitely it is a big game because it's our home opener, and we want to. We're on a 2-game losing streak on the blue, and it's something that we have talked about a lot. Is getting back to protecting the blue. But like I said, it feels weird right now. But once I get out there, it's just going to be another game, and it's another opponent with guys that you really don't know. So it's like you're playing another opponent, and you want to beat them. So we want to get back to protecting the blue. I think that's the main thing.
You said in the past that your uncle, you'll talk to him about game planning and whatnot. Has he said anything about his team in this regards, or is he like, yeah, you're on your own?
Yeah, I don't think I'll talk to him a whole lot this week. Not as much as I usually do, but after the game, I'm sure we'll talk for sure.
Having watched that Eastern film from Saturday, what jumps out to you about Washington State's defense?
Very opportunistic, I think. I think they got, I'm not sure what their situation is with their safeties right now, but I know 18 is a good player, and I'm assuming he'll be back for that game. And, I'm like I said, I know we're going to get their best shot. We get everybody's best shot, and, we're expecting a dogfight, and that's what we want.
You go back to the game on Saturday. How well did your offensive line play? I mean, I think that there was about 7 minutes left in the second quarter, and it was the first time that you were touched all game.
Tremendous. I mean, I can't say enough about those guys. They've worked extremely hard, preparing themselves every single week and, every single day, bringing the same attitude. And I think that's something that, we've improved on a lot from last year, is bringing a good focus and energy to practice every single day. And that group has done a really good job.
Now you got to take a look at it. What do you think Sed did that impressed you the most Saturday?
Just didn't hesitate and just played. Just trusted everything that we've been working on in practice, and when he gets his one-on-ones, we're going to take those shots. And he's a guy, like I said, that works hard. He's always in the film room, trying to get better. And I think as an offense as a whole, we've done a lot better job of that. Guys preparing better. We're all on the same page, and that's got to continue.
That an emphasis of the wide receivers was to be better after the catch this year, and they were pretty good after the catch on Saturday. You as a quarterback, after you see them catch the ball and then do something with it, I mean, what's it like to sit back there and see them, get those extra yards?
It's really, really nice. Just kind of sit back and watch Sed, juke out 2 or 3 guys. I thought all our receivers did a really good job after the catch, and that's been a point of emphasis through fall camp. I've done a lot of different drills to work on that, and it's showing up, and it's got to continue to show up. That's going to be huge for us moving forward.
I think one of the most noticeable drills is kind of when Junior's out there with the big exercise ball or whatever, and it looks funny, but I mean, you could almost see it kind of directly pay off after some of those stabs they made and cuts.
Exactly what we talked about last night. Those drills are showing up. The drills that we're doing in practice every single day are showing up on film, at every position. And you can find, individual drills, and that's when we see that type of stuff, translated in the game, that just makes you want to work harder in those type of drills, make sure that we're working on our technique, working on those things. So, because it does show up in the game and it does help.